Hey, I welcome you to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to discuss about data driven testing using Cypress. Okay, so this is one of the most important scenario that we have to perform in any kind of application if we are automating. Okay, so we have to perform the data driven testing for login. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So maybe any kind of application. Okay, web app or mobile app. So in this video I am gonna take one application that is Orange HRM web application. So here there is a login page. Okay, so in this login page, as a QA engineer, we have to check happy flows and unhappy flows both. Okay, so happy flows means valid username, valid password, and unhappy flow means invalid username and invalid password. Okay, so as a QA engineer, our responsibility is to assert the both cases, valid and invalid cases. Then only we can confidently say that we have tested this login page properly. Okay, so for doing that in Cypress, how will you what is the approach that you will follow, and how will you write a script such that this scenario is covered? Okay, so first of all, if you want to perform this scenario, you have to understand fixture file. Okay, so when you create a Cypress project, right, when you install Cypress, so if you haven't watched my Cypress installation video, you will get this Cypress installation video in my playlist. So please access the playlist. You will get the Cypress installation video. There you will be clear. Okay, so there is a fixture file. Okay, so this file is generated automatically when you download and install the Cypress. Okay, so in this file, in this folder, you have to create a JSON file. Okay, so login data.json. This is a JSON file you have to create by yourself, where you will store different data of credentials, username and password you will store. This is the data. So if you struggle to create this kind of file, you can take the help of ChatGPT as well. So this is the ChatGPT. So here you can write one prompt. So I'll just show you that how you can write the prompt. Give me a JSON object where there is user login credentials. So here it will give you one JSON file example, which you can copy and paste it in your fixture file. So this is the first step you have to do. Okay, so basically this here the user credentials you will perform in that application. Okay, so the next step will be you have to create one file, Cypress file, inside end-to-end folder, test folder. So the test folder, you have to create one file. Okay, so as you can see here, I have created different files, Cypress files here. Okay, so this is my file, login with multiple credentials. Here you have to write your test. Okay, so first of all, you have to write describe. So describe is a function. So I'll write the name as test scenario for multiple user login. Okay, so this is one argument and there is an arrow function. Okay, so in this arrow function you have to write it here. And you have to write that test case of multiple user login, and then you have to write one arrow function here. Okay, so inside that your first step will be cy dot visit. Okay, so in the visit function what you have to pass is the URL of the website. So here the URL is orange CRM. Okay, so this is the URL you have to pass over here. This can be your own web application URL here. Okay, so you have passed this one, right? And then you have to use a cypress function, that is cy dot fixture. So basically this function will fetch your fixture file. Okay, so here is the fixture file, right? This function will fetch your fixture file over here. So once you define the fixture file, you have to pass some arguments here. So you have to write the name of the file here, login data.json. Login data.json. .json is not required, you can write login data. So basically it will load the file. Okay, so and you have to write dot then here. You have to write dot then is a function. Okay, inside the then you have to write one arrow function. So basically this data you will store inside a variable that is credential. Okay, so this is the credentials. Okay, so instead of credential I will give the name as data. Okay, so this is the data. So basically what I am doing is I am first of all visiting my application. Okay, this is the URL. Then I am loading my fixture file where my data is located, right? And then I am storing the data in data variable. And then basically you have to iterate over the data. What do I mean by that? So if this is very easy, guys, please focus on this. So basically this is a JSON object, right? So you have to iterate over this and perform the login every time. So for doing that basically you have to use data dot credentials dot so basically it is like a dot notation function that is going inside the login data file. It is taking credentials and then it will you have to iterate over. So you will use for each. Okay, don't use dot array or something. use for each. Okay, so element, what is the element? Okay, so the element is credentials. Okay, and inside this file what you have to do, you have to write CUID, you have to perform the actions. Okay, for each of this username password. Okay, so basically you have to locate the elements first of all. So basically here there is username and password field, so I'll just locate the elements. So here the locator is name is username, input name username. Okay, so I'll just write over here cui.get. Don't worry guys, I will make a separate video on locators, how to find the locators in Cypress. So basically it will be input name equals to username, and don't worry about this this type of code. It is known as string literal. Okay, this is known as template literal. Okay, so don't worry about it. This is a JavaScript based concept where you can write the strings in a better way without using escape sequence. Okay, so basically I am finding the username and I will just clear the username field and then type what type so let me check the JSON file. So basically you have to write credentials.username here. So basically it will fetch the username, and then cui.get. Again I will just write the template literal here and write the locator input, and the password locator is let me locate the password locator here. So it is like type password or name password, whatever your wish, you can just write name password. Okay, and dot clear dot type is credentials dot password. So basically it will fetch the password, and once you type you have to like click on the submit button, right? Login button. So let's locate the login button as well. So I have found out the login button which will say the type equals to submit. Okay, so basically you can verify using in the network tab itself. So basically you have to press Ctrl F and this field will open up, and here you can write button type submit. As you can see, I have found out the element submit. So I'll just copy the locator and I'll just write cui.get. I'll use the template literal here, and I'll just paste my locator dot click. So it will just click the login button here, but my task is not finished. Okay, so but my task is not finished now. Why I am telling this? Because it is just locating the element and clicking the login, right? But as a QA engineer we have to assert the things. Okay, so if we check in this application, I'll just show you. You have to think like this in the real-time application as well, which you are using. If you use ABC here and you pass some invalid credentials, right? So this will show invalid credentials, right? So as a QA engineer you have to assert that this this invalid credential is shown or not. And if it is a valid credentials, right? So this is the username, password, valid credentials. If it's a valid credentials, you have to validate as well. Okay, so if I use the valid credentials, it will just log in and it will just redirect to the home page, right? So as assertions, you have to assert something. So what you can assert is, you can assert the URL here. Okay, so there is a way to assert the URL. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So let me show you by logout again. So if you think as like a real user using Facebook, Instagram, once you log in inside the application, the URL will change. Okay, so once you hit the login button, the URL will definitely change here. Okay, so if there is some way or the other we can assert that the URL has changed, then that means that our test script will pass. Okay, so let's see how you can do this. Okay, so I have come up to this part, so let's execute this one and just see one time if it's working or not. Okay, so let's just clear the terminal. So basically this is a Linux terminal or command line interface that we are gonna use. So here basically if you see in VS Code, there is a terminal, hit the new terminal and there will be Windows PowerShell. Okay, this is a Windows related terminal. So I will use the git bash. So basically it is a Linux based terminal and we will all use the Linux commands, right? So basically we can do like this. So let me npx cypress open. So once you hit this command, right, once again I will just tell you that go and watch my previous installation video to understand what are these commands, and you have to download and install these things, Cypress, then only you can start working on this. So please go ahead and watch my previous video. So my Cypress instance is lost here, and here I will select end-to-end testing here in Chrome, start end-to-end testing in Chrome. So here there is my test scenarios. If I run my script here, so it will just run here. So it is visiting the application. So as you can see, it is performing the operations, like it is so as you can see here what it happened, you have just seen here. So it is using various permutations and combinations of the user credentials, and our script is running. Okay, so in this way you have to run your test script. It's of no use if you use only one set of combination. Okay, so you have to write your test script in such a way. Okay, so our task is still not complete. Why it's not complete? Because we have to assert. As a test engineer, you should always think of assertions. Without assertions, your test script is nothing. It's of zero value. Okay, so how do you assert? So basically you have to use if else block. Okay, so here I will use okay, it means, so basically I will write if credentials dot username equals to admin and credentials dot password equals to admin 123. Then COI dot log. Okay, COI dot log. Logged in successfully. Okay, and else what? COI dot log not logged in successfully. Okay, so this is just a log that I am doing in order to check that this script is running or not. Okay, so let's run this script and verify once. Okay, so I will explain you what I have done here. Don't worry guys, I'll just explain you what is the thing that is happening here. So I will run npx cypress open. So this will launch my instance of the Cypress, and just open the browser. So it is performing the different permutations and combinations in this application. So I'll just explain you why I have written if-else block here. So if you see here, it is visiting the URL, getting the username, getting the password, typing the password, and clicking the thing, and as you can see here, it is typing here not login successfully. So what does this mean? If you see my script right, so here I have written if-else conditions. If credentials.username equals to admin and credentials password equals to admin123. So basically what does this mean is, so it is inside the file, right? It is inside the file. So once it will enter the username, password, and submit the click, and it will check that the username, right? The username is equals to admin, or username password equals to admin123. Is it true? It is not true. Then it will check that not logged in successfully. So here in the else block, I have to write the assertion. Okay. So what assertion? Invalid credentials. So this element I have to, in some way I can, if in some way I can assert that this one is visible, right? Then my work is done. Okay. Role alert. So I just pick this element role alert. D is the tag name, and role is the attribute, and alert is the value. So it is picking up the alert. Okay. So this element should be visible. COI dot get. So role alert dot should. So basically this is assertion. Don't worry guys, I will explain you the assertions. What are the different assertions in Cypress? Should be dot visible. Okay. So this is one assertion that I have put here. So that means that once there is an invalid user, once he hits the login, right? So this one will be shown, invalid credentials will be shown here. Okay. So we can also pass like empty data and check that this one is shown, right? We will see that. Okay. So and in the valid scenario, right? Once there is a user is valid, so we have to also check that URL that I have told you before sometimes, right? Let me show you again. Once you hit the login with the valid username, right? So our URL, this is the URL, it should be matched. Okay, so how do I assert that? CY dot URL. So this is a way to assert. Okay, so you don't need to mug up things. Okay, this will come by doing automatically. Okay, so CY dot URL dot should. So should is a function. So basically, that equal, and here I will pass my URL. Okay, this is my URL. So once the user is valid, it should assert this one. Once it is invalid, it should assert this one. Then our script will pass. Okay, so I'll just run this script once and I'll just show you. Okay. So as you can see, it is doing the permutations and combinations of the credentials and just logging in. Okay. So as you can see here, it has visited the application. It has gone into this field. Then it has typed user1. Then it has typed the password. Then it has clicked on the button, right? And the alert is shown, right? Not logged in successfully. So here it's a wrong username password, so it gone into else block here, and it has asserted that that alert should be visible, right? So the assertion is passed. Okay, again it has entered wrong username password and the assertion is passed. Okay, so at last when it is valid username, okay, as you can see here, it has typed the admin username and the password is admin123. This is a valid credentials. Okay, so it has gone inside, redirected inside the home page, right? So and the assertion of the URL is correct. Okay, it is also saying that the login successfully it is shown. So that means that it has gone into if statement. Okay, so in this way you can do the data driven testing for the login page. Okay, in this way you can do it. So this is one of the approach in which you can perform the data driven test for login or sign up. So this can be any kind of page, right? This can be any kind of page, and the data can be anything, right? So the data can be anything, and the application can be anything, the page can be anything, but the approach will be the same. Okay, the approach will be the same. So this is, I hope that this approach will help many of you to use in your application testing. Okay, so you can also do with the help of empty. Okay, you can also do with the help of empty thing. Okay, once you run this script and assertion is complete, you can confidently say that your testing is done for valid and invalid scenario. So you can also pass some blank values here. I just see here. Username and password. Okay, so this is a blank value, right? You can also perform this one. So this data will be fetched. So basically you have to also perform the logout here. So here it is not taking this value. Why it's not taking? Because it's not able to log out. So you have to write the logout as well. Okay. So I will include the logout script here. So logout will happen only when this assertion will pass. Okay. So cy dot get admin so basically here we have to click. Okay, so this is the element. So the class name is this one. So I use the class attribute here. I can directly use here get dot. So this is the way you locate the element for a class name directly and click. Okay, and it will just open that drop down, right? Logout is there. So basically this logout is an link here. So link is a tag and the attribute is this one. So basically you can use this one. You can use dot notation over here. cy dot get dot this one, and there it is there 4 options. You have to choose only one. How will you choose? You have to write contains. So contains is a function. Contains what? Logout. Contains logout dot click. Okay, you have to click on that logout. So now if I run the script, it will work fine. Okay, so if you see here, my script is running for the login scenario. Okay, so it has just logged out again. So it's telling that it cannot accept an empty string. Okay, so I want to just log in here like okay, so in this way you can just handle or approach your login functionality automation using data driven testing. I hope that this video will help a lot of you guys to implement this feature. If you like this video, subscribe my YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Thank you.